This week I'm testing out EcoFlow's all new Delta 2 Max. I know I usually rustle at least a few feathers with these kind of videos. Yes, EcoFlow have sent this to us for free, so it is genuinely quite hard to give an unbiased review based on the fact that we've received this and I've not spent hard-earned money on it. That said, I've always said that I'll try and give as genuine and honest a review as I can, or demo, and I'll always try and pick up on any fault that I find. I think some of the friction comes from when I name this a review video, which I can see is fair enough, so I'm going to call this a demo. Is me showing you the new EcoFlow Delta 2 Max and just pointing out its features basically. But if anything I find that could be better on this, I will tell you. It's time to get it open with the world's bluntest Stanley knife. One car charger, 12 volt cigarette socket, DC to DC cable, and good old kettle plug for mains AC charging. They're standard, I think, across most of the range, like the River, the Deltas, all of it. I'm pretty sure they all come with those now. Quick start guide, warranty card, 5-year warranty. Solar panels, cool. That's a bit of a beast. 30%. Right, I'm going to bang this on charge and I'll catch up with you in a minute. Whilst that's on charge, I'll just go over some quick facts and figures, but first of all, a quick introduction to EcoFlow. We've been working with them for coming up to 18 months now. We started off with an original Delta throughout the boat build, before we had any source of power. We were using it to charge power tools and tile cutters, you name it. EcoFlow itself was founded back in 2017 with a mission to create the most innovative and eco-friendly power solutions. EcoFlow was actually founded by a group of battery engineers, one of which used to work for a leading drone manufacturer. Right, we're at 100% charged. I'll talk you over all of the ports on here first. This is all new to me, so please bear with me. We've got 4 USB-A's on the front, 2 of which are fast charge. We've got 2 USB-C 100 watt outputs there, strong enough to power a MacBook or something directly from USB-C to USB-C. On the side, which is pretty cool with this, you've got 2 ports for extra batteries. Now this is a 2048 watt hour battery, which is double the size of a standard Delta. That can also be expanded, this can be expanded up to 6,000 watt hours. I always struggle with watt hours and the conversion, if you will, but essentially, to put it into terms that I understand more, 2,000 watt hours at 48 volts, which is a 48 volt battery I believe, is, so this I believe is a 48 volt battery with roughly 48 amp hours at 48 volts. Now if you times that by 3, because you can divide 48 volts by 3 to get 12 volts, so 40-ish amp hours times 3 is roughly 140, 80, 120 amp hour lithium battery. Being from the Delta 2 range, this has now been updated to LFP or LiFePO4 battery technology, which will see you 3,000 cycles, which is roughly 10 years use every day before you get down to 80% capacity. Yeah, those ports, you can then expand that with 2 additional extra batteries of 2,000 watts, so 6,000 watts total you could have running through this machine. AC, can you see the ports? This will actually take 1,000 watts of solar maximum, which is huge. We've got 2 different solar inputs then, so 2 500 watt panels essentially. AC that I just charged it on. Got reset buttons there. 4 AC outputs and a DC cigarette socket and 2 DC sockets there. Specs for this, actually, bear with me. I'm never going to remember all this. The maximum output for AC is 2,400 watts, so this will power 99% of home appliances. Thanks to X Boost, it will actually up to 3,100 watts and it will surge to 4,800 watts, which is massive. That is similar spec to our Victron inverter that we got on the boat, and that cost us £1,000 alone. Now this unit itself is at the minute £1,899, so 1,900 quid roughly. And consider you get that size of lithium battery, that size of inverter, and it's all in one package. This would probably do for most people boat system, let alone van. God. Yeah, for a full charge on AC like we just did, but from 0% to 100% would be 81 minutes. Now considering that's double the size of a Delta, that is crazy. Whilst you're charging on AC, if you've got solar panels available, you can also plug in 1,000 watts of solar at the same time. You can bring the charge time down to 43 minutes for 80%. I can't remember what it is to full. I wasn't far off. I said 48 volts. It's actually 51.2 volts, so 40 amp hours. So you times that by roughly 3 for your 12 volts that you'll be outputting through DC, and you would get about 120 amp hours of lithium equivalent. 12 volt lithium equivalent. This is the cable you'd use for an additional battery. For anyone who's seen our Glacier cooler review and the air conditioning unit, the Wave 2, this could be used as an additional battery for that as well. It's got the same ports on, so you could power this, use this as the battery for that. As with the rest of the updated range, you can now use the EcoFlow app to control this, turn it on, set timers and all sorts on the loads of settings. I would show you, but we're actually filming back on the iPhone at the minute. As you might have seen, our camera's broken already after 6 months. But I'll show you a screen recording of it anyway. Now to see what it'll actually power. I'm gonna raid my dad's fridge. I'm gonna raid his fridge for dinner. Gonna raid my dad's shed to see what we can find in here that's obscenely powerful. Think big. Think big. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Maybe we can find the 1% of things that it won't run. How many watts is that? For anyone wondering, no, I can't weld that well. But will it power a SIP MIGMATE 130 welder? We'll see. Worth a go, isn't it? For anyone that doesn't know a lot about welding, a bit like me, welders use an insane amount of power, amps, watts to melt and fuse metal with metal. Right, let's find something to weld. What I was going to say is, at any point there's going to be a sailing boat delivered, but don't get excited because it's not mine, it's not our project. Although I would love to have a sailing boat at some point. Well, I'm in a way now. Yes, boys! Oh, fuck, this is going! Right, where were we? I'm not going to lie, I'm a little bit disappointed with that. I was hoping to make it sweat at least a little bit more than that, but it's only putting out like 1500 watts, so I'm thinking bigger. I like it. Overload. Might have found something that's too powerful for it. I think it's just that initial surge. I found the 1% that it won't power. I used the mains power just to get it spinning where there's the biggest draw, and then plugged it in. Don't know if it's because it's an old machine, but it's only 500 watts, so it must be that initial drag is quite intense. Bit of oak. That'd be ideal for anyone with a workshop or shed at the bottom of your garden if you haven't got a power supply down there. Charge that up overnight. It said on the screen I think it'll run the welder for a couple of hours, which is more than enough for most of the projects. Just reading what it says on paper, it'll run 100 watt TV for 16 hours, a blender for 5.5 hours, a CPAP machine, which is for breathing, for 25 hours, a welder 54 minutes for an 1800 watt. This was a little bit lower than that on it. It'll charge a phone 153.6 times. We don't get too many power cuts in this country, but for our friends over in America, these are more and more popular to use as an EPS, like an uninterrupted power supply, because it'll switch over from mains to battery power in an emergency in less than 30 milliseconds, which is faster than the electricity. I don't know, I don't understand, it blows my brain, but it would automatically switch across like that, and it would be an uninterrupted power supply. Hopefully that's a fair demonstration of what the Max 2 is capable of. If you want to get hands on an EcoFlow, there will be a link down in our pinned comment and the description. There's also some discount, which is TBC, how much discount it's going to be if you use our code as well.